What's going on, everybody? Kyle Powers here with Haven Real Estate Group at eXp Realty, here with another episode of Local Legends of the Flint Hills, where business meets community. I've got a very special guest here with me. Summer, thank you so much for joining me today. I've got Summer Dirks here with me with Dirks Law Firm. She's here at Blue Earth Plaza, and if you guys could see the view from her office, you would be very jealous, I promise you. Summer, thank you so much for joining me. Let's kind of get into it. We've talked about off camera quite a bit here, but what was that day when you decided I'm going to practice law for the rest of my life? What did that look like for you?
Yeah, well, good question. My dad is an attorney down in 𝐾𝐨𝐬𝐵𝐿, Kansas. So when I was in high school, I would see him in the courtroom sometimes and see the impact he was making on families. Like it was a big deal to see what was happening from the pew, from the back of the courtroom. But I got interested into law at that point in time. I took some media law classes when I was in college at K-State, but I majored in agriculture, communications, and journalism at that time. When I graduated, I went and worked for the K-State Foundation in the College of Agriculture division, and then worked at the Manhattan Convention and Visitors Bureau. But before I graduated from college, I took the LSAT. I didn't really take that seriously, but I took it at that point in time, just thinking, well, what if I score really good? I don't know, but I didn't care. So then 5 years post-grad, I decided, let me try that again. Let me see what this looks like. And I took it seriously. And then I went to law school, kind of did an accelerated program through school and graduated in a couple years. While I was in law school, I clerked for an appellate judge in Kansas and worked at the Attorney General's office in criminal litigation. So I had a lot of experience coming out. And then when I got into private practice, I partnered with a couple folks here in town for a few years and then decided to branch out on my own. And that was a very scary moment for sure. You've got to have all the right people in your pocket to make that happen. The banker, the friends, the family, but starting your own business is absolutely terrifying, but so liberating and exciting at the same time. So it was good.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So you've been, and we were kind of talking about this, so you've been, how long have you been practicing private practice? How long have you been practicing on your own?
10 plus years at this point.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And that's something too. So I guess one of the questions I'd be curious to know is, why did you decide to stay here in Manhattan?
Yes. Well, I was, of course, as you know, the K-State student who bled purple. And when I got here, I loved it. I always grew up loving Manhattan because we would come up for the games and get to walk around Aggieville, see all the Purple Pride. So it has just always felt like home for me. And then coming here after law school, again, I've never really moved away, but landing here as a person involved in the business community after law school, I just realized it was like a small town. I'm from small town 𝐾𝐴𝐬𝐵𝐿, Kansas, but here it was just like a lot more, you wouldn't go somewhere and see the same person all the time like you would in my hometown. Sure. Here you can see different people or meet new people, and there's always a new face in every restaurant that you walk into. And I just love the business community connection that we have here. I think we all really help each other. Kyle's a perfect example of, I want to show off all of these businesses that are great, that are here. Like that's what we do for each other. It's very friendly. It's very the Midwest ag way, which was how I was raised. So that's kind of why I've been so fond of Manhattan.
Yeah. No, and it's a big, small town. I say that all the time in a lot of the stuff that I do. Manhattan's just a big, small town. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
So, okay, so let's talk about your practice, right? Obviously, there's all kinds of different kinds of law, all kinds of different ways to go. Talking to real estate, talking to family type law, whatever that looks like. But what do you guys here at Dirks Law Firm? What do you guys special in?
Yes. So I have one other attorney right now on staff. Her name is 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭, and I have two other staff members, our paralegals, that 𝐷𝐭 Guetzman and Charlotte Oakes, and we have this great partnership here that we all work together on all of our cases. So if you were to call my office everybody in here would know what's going on because we are such a team unit. We meet about every case every Monday on a weekly basis. But the types of cases and matters that we practice are everything from real estate planning, probate, guardianships, adoptions, divorce, child custody. I'm a mediator for a lot of child custody cases. Judges appoint me pretty often on those. And I do a lot of business law. We don't practice any criminal law at this point in time. And I also do some municipal work for a local municipality as a city attorney. So I'm just kind of all over the place as a general practice. But basically, if you were to call in, or, contract issues too, a lot of civil litigation, if you were to call in and say, I have a problem, or this is going on in my life, we will, as the attorney, assess whether you have what's called a cause of action, and we'll talk about your case and maybe represent you if you want us to work for you. But the types of cases are just very different. But the one thing that I like to tell people is don't be afraid of an attorney. You do more than likely need one in your life, at least just for communication about random things that are going on. But we don't only do bad things. I think there's a misconception that attorneys are only associated with bad or negative light matters. That's not at all the case. I mean, adoption is a perfect example of that's the best proceeding in the world. I did so many in 2016 that I won the pro bono award from the Kansas Bar. Like, those are such great things to do in making our world, our community a better place by doing things like that. And that's why I was interested in the practice of law, is to make those differences. So.
No, that's awesome. I mean, that's why, that's the story that we all want to hear, right? Like, you get into the profession that you want, you get to do the things that you want to do. So that's fantastic. So that actually leads into a good segue. So I know because we've known each other for 9+ years, something like that. But you have always been very involved, right? Always very involved in Manhattan, always very involved in the community. Talk to us about what that has been and what that looks like for you and why you do that.
Yes, so I just finished up being on the executive committee of the Chamber of Commerce. I sat as the chair 2 years ago for our Chamber of Commerce, and so I was on the board of directors for about 8 years and several different committees and boards within the chamber, and I'm still active in those. Because it is selfless time that you're pouring back into your own community, back into our kids. I mean, I have a little girl that lives here in Manhattan that I want to make a difference in my community for, and I want her to have friends here. I want her to have all different types of friends, and so there are deliberate and intentional acts that we can do if we are, if we have connections, we have to use them. That's why you're connecting. That's why you're networking. It's not just to build your own business and make money. You're probably not even going to make money if you can't pour it back into the community in some form or fashion. So I think those things are very important to make sure that you're paying attention to your town and also being educated about what's going on, because it matters. I mean, local government, the argument would be sometimes that local government's even more important than your state or national. So those issues affect your daily life and where you park and things like that. So you've got to pay attention to them, be plugged in, and advocate for what you want to see in your own backyard.
Sure. Mm-hmm. No, that's big. I mean, having you in there is having a lawyer on the community boards and everything. That was probably a good thing, I guess, right?
Sometimes free legal advice.
Yeah. You heard it here, free legal advice. Okay, great. So let's talk then a little bit about, obviously you talked about all the differences and all the different things that you guys do here at Dirks Law Firm and everything comes with that. So I want to start this. I'm going to preface this question with this. She will do it all. Call her for any of those things that she's already listed. But what do you enjoy about? What's the one aspect that you truly enjoy about, whether it be adoptions or real estate law or whatever that is? What does Summer enjoy about this business?
Well, my practice in particular is very, very diverse. I like it that way, because I can figure something else out that's new. I can teach myself something new. I'm well versed in a lot of different topics. And it's cool. It's cool to walk in, a client will walk in and you'll say, I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to figure that out because this is the practice of law. My dad and everybody's always said, this is just the practice of law. Well, I mean, clearly we know what we're doing, but it is neat to have a diverse practice where you can do other areas of law, and no day on my desk is the exact same. It never will be the exact same, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect. You enjoy the challenge of every day. I like it. So, okay. So the days that you aren't in here and in the office, which probably is few and far between, but the days that you aren't, what do you like to do on a personal level? What do you enjoy? Like, whether it be, I don't know, going out to the lake or doing whatever it is. What do you enjoy doing on your days off?
Typically that is spent with my daughter. I love to take her to the pool or go out on dates. We have weekly dates that we'll go out on. So I do that a lot. And recently I took a day off of this firm and I went and practiced as a municipal court judge. That judge had asked me to preside over his courtroom, and I said, I don't know how to do that. But I did it, and I loved it. And so those are the next steps that you think about in your career of, do I want to become a judge? And I think that's something that I'm still considering doing and exploring. But those are some of the things that I do outside of the office. But there's a lot of evenings at home that are still in the office. I don't really stop working. But now I have amazing help with another attorney. She is brilliant. It is really fun to have someone to bounce cases off of and talk through legal issues. And we work on cases together pretty often. So that's really great that I can help her grow her business too and get her networked in our community.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. You actually stole the question out of my mouth a little bit, but I'm still going to ask it. So what does the future of Dirks Law Firm look like?
Yeah, well, I have a lot longer in private practice. I don't anticipate becoming a judge very soon, but because that's normally like where you're done with your practice, or you're done being whatever type of law you're in practice for. But I would like to see this law firm grow a bit more. Maybe 5 attorneys. That would be kind of what my eye is on right now, and we are growing at a nice rate, not taking that too fast. Sure. I think that it's appropriate that we take it step by step. So that's what I'm doing, and with the help of my amazing staff, we're getting there. So I tell them, we dream someday that we're going to be so big that we have a parking garage. So that's not what we're. There's a parking garage across the street. We have that.
So you already got that.
Yeah, exactly. But so I think we'll grow our firm a little bit more. There's maybe one potential law student that has been working for us for several years that she would really like to come back. So we've talked about that quite a bit too. So
thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoy this content, and if you haven't done so already, please go and hit that subscribe button. Go and hit that little bell so you get notified of any future content. And please, 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 if you know somebody or have anybody that's interested that might be interested in this video, please share this video with them. Get them in touch with Summer. Get them in touch with her law firm, and get just in here and talk to them about this so they can get you guys taken care of. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for next week because we'll have another excellent episode of Local Legends of the Flint Hills, where business meets community. Thanks again, Summer.
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you guys for watching.